Coming up on Meet the Drapers, the viewers versus the VC. 7 entrepreneurs have made it to the final round. The viewer's choice versus the VC choice. Who will the Drapers fund? Find out on our season finale of Meet the Drapers.
We're funding heroes, heroes.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. I'm Tim Draper. This is my father, Bill Draper, my sister, Polly Draper. We are here to create the next generation of startup heroes. Every week, 3 heroes pitch their game-changing ideas to us. We choose one winner to move to the playoffs. 3 heroes of our choice then move to the finals. But here's the big twist. You, the viewers, can invest with us in these companies. The 3 heroes that you fund the most will also move to the finals, where they'll battle it off for $500,000. The power is now in your hands. Welcome everybody to Meet the Drapers, and we're now here for the finale! Ha ha! Fantastic! We have 7 of the best entrepreneurs in the world, and of these 7, we've got one big winner who's going to get $500,000. You got to choose 3 of the entrants as the viewers, and we chose 4. We were only supposed to choose 3, but we chose 4 because we're kind-hearted. I'm Tim Draper. I'm a venture capitalist with Draper Associates. I'm here with my father, Bill Draper, one of the pioneers in venture capital. He funds nonprofit entrepreneurs. I'm also here with my sister, Polly Draper. She's an actor, director, producer, writer. She's done everything from 30-something to the Naked Brothers Band with her 2 young kids.
And Jesse.
And Jessie Draper got her career started with the Naked Brothers Band on Nickelodeon. And then she started the Valley Girl Show, interviewing entrepreneurs in a fun-loving, great spirit. But now she funds them, focusing mostly on women entrepreneurs with Halogen Ventures. Welcome to the show, everybody. What will drive you to choose one of these 7 entrepreneurs over the other 6?
I look for strength of leadership, some creativity, but mostly the ability to lead a group of people. Would I like to work for that person?
I'm looking for a founder who thinks outside of the box and understands that there's not one way to build a company, because if you think you would have all the answers and then an international pandemic hits you, you need to be ready to just try everything, from going from an e-commerce swimsuit business all the way to a transportation company. Like, you need to just be ready for anything.
Passion is what I have noticed is the thing that attracts me the most. The fact that this person has had a visceral knowledge of his subject, that they've gotten equally passionate people to work with them, and that the subject itself is something that they have an emotional connection to.
Terrific. I think the things I'm going to be looking for are how much progress have they made since we last talked to them. And then I always look for what's the world going to look like if these people are successful? And is that a world I want to live in? And we're going to see 7 of them right after this. So let's see what's going on behind the scenes, and let's bring on our first entrepreneur.
We have the technology to create beautiful, nutrient-dense food at scale that's as healthy for you as it is for the planet too.
Richard Branson's favorite is the jerky, but I think this is my favorite.
Beyond Meat, which we've done a lot of comparing, was running at negative margins for its first 3 years of business. So we're pretty stoked to be launching at 10% in retail and 30% direct to consumer.
Akua and Nori, you are both going on to the semifinals.
I started learning more about the impacts of our broken food systems, and I was invited to visit my first kelp farm. I took a bite, and from that moment, I've been totally hooked on building a consumer market for sustainable sea greens. It's nutritious, delicious, regenerative, and now Tim Draper approved.
I want a burger and ice cream. Let's bring them both into the finals.
To hear recently that we made it to the finals, it's just awesome. We're so excited to be here.
So Courtney, welcome back to the show. Tell us about what kind of progress you've made and where we can expect our next kelp burger to come from.
For sure, Tim. It's so great to be back. Since we spoke last quarter, we've designed this beautiful packaging for our retail launch. As of early April, we've raised nearly $700,000 on Republic, making us one of the highest funded food companies on the platform. In the meantime, we've launched in 6 new restaurants across the country, and direct-to-consumer sales of our secret kelp burger that's not even available on our website has somehow doubled month over month through word of mouth, surpassing all of our other product sales as we sprint towards our official launch in May. I'm zooming in today from our new manufacturing facility, where we were overseeing our first scaled production run of 10,000 kelp burgers in one day. Since we last spoke, we've partnered with a food science team, as well as one of the nation's largest food distributors. This is without a doubt going to be the summer of the kelp burger, and we'd love to do it off the back of a major Tim Draper win. So, are you ready to dive in?
That was great. So tell me, the burgers, how much do they cost you, and how does that compare with the cost of what McDonald's pays for a burger?
I don't think anyone can get as cheap as a McDonald's burger, but I think with cheap food, we've seen a lot of things get really messed up in our world. We're actually negotiating our prices with our new manufacturer today, which is why I'm here. But we are hoping to get down to total all-in COGS of around $1 a patty. Our goal is to sell it to the consumer between $3 and $4.
And the cost is no more than meat?
It sounds like it's pretty close.
You have to understand that a lot of the meat industry is subsidized by government funding. Kelp hasn't gotten there yet, so we're in a little bit of an unfair playing field.
But don't spend any of your time trying to lobby the government to change their ways. That'll be years.
That's my job after I sell the company.
So is that your intention, to eventually sell the company?
Yep, I think that it is our goal to make returns for all of our investors.
You seem like a wonderful entrepreneur, and exactly the kind that we would like it back. The energy comes through and so on. Who else is on your team?
So we're really lean, but we have like stacked group of advisors. So it's my co-founder, Matt, who's downstairs right now. Matt is all finance ops, but he, is one of the most hardworking people I've ever met.
How many people do you now have on the team?
We're a 3-person team right now.
Wow, you've come a long way.
Can you share any revenues with us?
Yeah, we're doing around $50K a month right now.
Great, amazing.
The burger is becoming an increasing part of that. It's doubling every month. It's surpassed our jerky in January. At our launch, which is going to be May, when we have this beautiful packaging ready to go, we'll probably easily hit that 80K mark in sales and grow up from there. So that's kind of that golden $1 million run rate, when we start talking to big investors and VC funds around our first price round later this year.
Has COVID thrown you any curveballs?
Being in the direct-to-consumer food industry, we've been one of the luckiest industries to come out of this, not just unscathed, but also we've grown from it. The entire frozen food industry in moving more of the business to e-commerce has been something that's been really amazing. Without COVID, we wouldn't be able to do that. And I think it's accelerated the growth of that by at least a few years.
Thanks for coming on Meet the Drapers. We love having you. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.
All right, let's see who's our next entrepreneur. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
This is a digital print head for water, so it puts water exactly where you want it and not where you don't.
Do you have to start from scratch?
It turns out that about 87% of our business is retrofit.
Frankly, if something exists, I believe in digitizing it.
They can really become a marketplace for services in the future.
The winner is Era Green!
It's not just the sprinkler itself, but this is a part of the whole IoT data system. With a conventional system, they're just far more complicated and take longer to install.
That is a great entrepreneur going after something no one else seems to be going after. It's a great opportunity. We've got to take them both. We got to take Era Green, we got to take Boxable, we got to take them both.
Having the honor to show what we're doing to so many people I mean, especially since water savings really has to start with the individual decisions that we make. The further we can spread, the ability to use technology to solve a huge drought problem, it makes me both excited, a little nervous, and I hope we can do a really good job telling everybody what we're doing and getting them to come into the mission.
We'll be right back on Meet the Drapers. Welcome back to Meet the Drapers.
Shane, tell us how it's gone since we've seen you, what kind of progress you've made. When can I get a smart sprinkler system in my lawn?
Tim, you can get it now. One of the most exciting things that we have is we just launched today. The press release goes out for the Irrigreen 2 system. The really cool part about this is not just the digital printing head, but we have a brand new way to do the calibration that actually saves a lot of the work the contractors have to do to put it in. But remember, Irrigreen at its core is really kind of a data play. We have, the head, but that's internet connected by our controller and up in our cloud where we're actually sending down that weather data. But we're also kind of creating these sort of digital railroad tracks in the backyard so that we can start to put other products and services, and we don't even have to build all of them. So when you do landscape lighting, we've already got low voltage power and internet connectivity in your backyard. When it's time for a robotic mower, we already know all the shapes of your lawn. The thing I'm most excited about is the traction milestones. This March we had 1,356 quote requests and 20 systems booked. Our Republic campaign is on fire. We raised $50,000 in the last 3 days with no marketing spend. So I think spring is here and this problem is really resonating. So we're excited and we're ready for your funding.
Terrific. Do I save enough on my water bill to make this a free purchase?
If you go to our website, you can basically type in your address, right? And then we'll come up with a quote for you in 24 hours that will show you not only how much it costs to put in the system, but also when you'll cross over and start making money. It's about double the ROI of like a solar system.
And what's the average quote, and then what's your margin on the average quote?
So an average quote is around $4,800 for the material and also the install. About $2,700 of that is for the product to Irrigreen. We make about 61% margins on the hardware, and in that $2,700 is also the service part. We make about 85% margins on the service.
Any competition that you're seeing down the pike?
Yeah, I mean the big competitors are going to be like Toro, Rainbird, and Hunter. They're the big three right now. I think right now we see a lot of smart controllers, but we don't see that many people doing smart sprinkler heads, like actually putting intelligence at the edge. So that'll be our big difference. I'm sure it will come. It's just, we've got a really good patent portfolio, but we're also going to be on 3rd generation and 4th generation running fast, making sure that we're in front of that.
Do you also water things that aren't lawn?
Yes. So the California Special, we call it, usually on our box has just as many, if not more, drip zones for things like bushes or bubblers for trees or something like that, and our box is compatible with all those, and it'll help them save water using the same weather data. We want to be able to shut off the bottom ports and just have those like top 2 ports in the top of the head go so that we can individually water particular plants. But that's kind of the dream, is we'll start taking over some of that drip stuff as well.
Why didn't you call it Rain Brain?
That's a good question. Rain Brain, I like that one.
Thank you, Shane Dyer, CEO and entrepreneur behind Irrigreen. Thank you so much for coming to Meet the Drapers. We're very happy to have you, and thanks for coming back, and good progress. Great progress. Thank you. We're all going to be customers.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, please go through. We'll get you the investor discount.
My company is called Boxable, and we think we've invented the only building system that can be compatible with mass production. Housing is expensive, there's shortages, there's affordability problems all over the world. So for a bunch of reasons, building construction has failed to actually move into the factory. So at Boxable, we've gone through and fixed all those problems so that we can mass produce buildings just the way we build everything else.
What does it cost you to deliver?
It's going to cost us less than $30,000.
But we think it's also very capital intensive. You may not hit the cost numbers that you think you're going to hit.
I was surprised when I got knocked out in the first round. I thought we were better than that, but very happy you guys to change your mind and decided to invite you back.
Our semi-finalists. We have Galliano and
So you can
Boxable.
see that's pretty cool. It doesn't burn. It's also very strong.
Cool. Well, Galliano, I've got to say that's the most entertaining investor pitch I've ever seen in my life. That was awesome. Thank you for that.
So it's an interesting situation with my partner, who is also my son. You know, Galliano's a very interesting individual, and he's had several multi-million-dollar companies, and we decided to do this together. I needed the help. He wanted a project that was even bigger. So Boxable is a very interesting technology because it really fixes a lot of problems structurally, and it dramatically lowers the cost of new home construction.
Welcome back, Boxable, and so great to have you. Tell us what kind of progress you've made and what's going on with Boxable.
Thanks, Tim. I'm Paolo Tiramani, CEO of Boxable, the new construction technology that is significantly going to reduce the cost of your new home. Homes currently are made out in the field one by one. They're very high cost, they're variable quality, and they take forever because they're not built in a factory. Boxable is the solution. They fly down the highway, 8.5 foot wide, and yet they unpack in the field to a staggering 20 foot by 40 foot for the big one. That's 800 square feet with a 9.5 foot ceiling. We have over 20,000 pre-orders. That's $1 billion with a B. The humongous order from the federal government for 156 units. And all of that love has allowed us to make amazing progress. The mission of our company is to put as many roofs over as many people's heads at the highest quality for the lowest price, with some yet to be announced amazing, amazing features.
Terrific. Well, how many of those houses have you been able to deliver? You got lots of orders.
So we are a technology startup, and that means mass production. Mass production can't happen without this guy behind me. This is a multi-million-dollar fit out that we're doing back here, and we really can't produce product beyond prototypes and samples until we get the factory up. But it's happening very, very fast. Amazing process. Will be good in a couple of quarters. We have delivered one to a very, very famous gentleman in Texas whose name I cannot say.
Mostly in California currently, there's just a major homeless issue, and the federal government is looking for solutions very, very quickly. Is this why you have the federal government contract for 100, I think you said 56 units or something like that?
We had a technology and we said, how are we going to configure this technology for a first product? Otherwise, it's far too abstract as a tech. So we looked at the ADU market, the accessory dwelling unit, sort of granny apartments, and we came up with the Boxable Casita for the West Coast, for California, exactly as you have just described, and it just blew up. So the demand that was very apparent from the municipalities on the West Coast is not uncommon.
How do you fit a bathroom in there and lighting and whatever? Is it plug and play?
The product comes completely 100% complete. Part of the technology in our patent base means we don't pack down the whole way. We leave an unpacked 6 foot, 7 foot corridor, and that allows us to put kitchens, bathrooms, and eventually stairs, fireplaces, and all sorts. That's where the dollar density is. That has to be done at the factory for the repeatability. It's like Legos, you know, you connect them at preset intervals, tremendous flexibility. And in terms of the hookups to the exterior, all of our hookups port to one corner of the unit.
Is Matthew McConaughey the very famous person in Texas who bought the house?
Much, much, much more famous than that.
Oh, now you got me curious. So we're going to move on to our next entrepreneur. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, Jesse is still guessing. All right,
man,
nicely done. Boxable, good job.
My father suffered from rare cancer. I analyzed his DNA and found out this cancer could have been predicted and prevented. That's why we built Predictive.
23andMe picked some diseases and analyzed the genes that are related to those diseases. We went the other way around. We look at your entire genome, and based on the research that exists today and the knowledge we have today, we identify the 16,000 diseases that might impact you.
Predictive, congratulations. You're going to the semifinals.
Over 10% of serious diseases could have been prevented. This is why we built the very first digital twin to predict and prevent diseases.
Why not charge the patient directly?
To avoid FDA regulation, we have to go through an healthcare professional. Most people want to go through a physician so they can get reimbursed by their insurance company.
Predictive, I think, should probably be licensed to 23andMe.
The success we have on the crowdfunding campaign is not just a question of money, but it's also a question of recognition of what we're doing. We're very thankful to be on Meet the Drapers and even more thankful to be part of the finals.
We'll be right back on Meet the Drapers. Welcome back to Meet the Drapers.
Alex and Sajong, tell us the progress you've made since we last saw you and what's been going on with Predictive.
Nice to see you. We launched Predictive in the market February. It includes 30-minute consultation from healthcare professionals. We also provide a personalized preventive screening and consulting plan for 20 years. So our customers' health is managed proactively. Since our last meeting, we signed several contracts with telemedicine companies. Our market focus is still digital twin, but we found another channel that is the personalized nutraceuticals that we recommend the best nutrition solution based on the DNA analytics.
We have launched the solution, and less than 6 weeks later, we already had over 200 hospitals and 3,300 physicians who have decided to use our solution. So we have all those contracts with telemedicine companies, hospitals, physicians, online retailers for vitamins and supplements. So we're very excited to be here because we really wanted to have a chance to show you that what we had was not just an idea, was not just a vision, but now we have the market validation and we have all those physicians and healthcare professionals telling us we really need a solution like yours. We really want to use it as fast, as quick as possible.
Terrific. So it says 200 hospitals and 3,300 physicians. Have you signed 200 contracts in this short time?
No, that's the magic of it. What we do is that we go through groups of hospitals and medical centers. So when we sign a contract, usually it covers 5, 10, 50 hospitals. And what we see now is that we are getting contacted by physicians, medical centers to ask us how they can enroll and how they can use our solution, which is within a few weeks just very interesting for us to see that they are contacting us directly.
That's great. And so what are your costs on each test and how much do you charge for each test?
We initially charged $800, including everything, the preventive plan, the genetic counseling session. We were kind of too cheap, so we decided to add the nutrition and to go to $1,000 per test. The cost for us is basically still $400.
I asked a lot of questions last time about the comparison between this and 23andMe. Maybe you could go over that again to remind me why this is so much better.
So first of all, we're a B2B company. So 23andMe and others, Ancestry and so ever, they're on a niche market, I would say for leisure purposes. What we have is a clinical grade solution. So if you go with your 23andMe results to your physician, the first thing he will tell you is, okay, let's make genetic test medical grade, because the accuracy is not enough. We are a B2B solution. So we go to physicians, we go to hospitals, and they are the one who prescribe or recommend our solution, like most of the genetic tests on the market.
23andMe just look at the range, like a 15 to 30 base pair. If something is wrong, it's gonna color dark. But our technology is looking at each gene sequence base pair, what's wrong, each nucleotide level.
Right, okay.
Terrific. Well, thank you to Alex and Sajong. This is great what you're doing. I think Predictive could be a great winner, and it seems like you've made great progress.
Thanks to all of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We have a surprise guest. We have the famous and wonderful Adam Draper, the founder of Boost VC. Adam, what are you going to be looking for with these entrepreneurs?
Most importantly, I always pick founder first, and as my grandfather would say, we look for commitment, energy, And he says integrity, and I say authenticity, but I think they're in the same realm.
How do you think venture capital has changed and entrepreneurship has changed?
Entrepreneurs have always been everywhere. That's something that you and Pops have always shown. But the thing that has been reduced is really like friction of access. So now everyone can be an investor. I think that it's going to be like everyone's an asset and everyone's an investor. So everyone's investing in everyone, and it's going to be a really exciting time.
Ooh, I like that. That's sort of the way we've been all thinking about it. Now that we've got all 5 Drapers, we're gonna all do the eyebrow thing. This is Jesse's invention. Let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
We make the most delicious plant-based ice cream from organic coconut cream and superfood ingredients. The idea was really inspired by my own health issues with food. What we found was that 40% of people don't eat plant-based ice cream because of taste, and that is the issue that we're solving.
So you have done a great job of creating a product that people are going to want and to keep coming back to. SunScoop! SunScoop, you are moving on!
I'm just really proud of where we're at. We're in over 400 stores across the country. We've sold 50,000 pints, done $1 million in revenue to date.
She's very personally tied to like the mission of plant-based.
I think it's a slow growth, but I think they got a good traction.
I am really torn. I want a burger and ice cream. Let's bring them both into the finals.
I really believe SunScoop to be the leader in plant-based ice cream and really changing the conversation around ice cream and converting people from dairy to non-dairy. It's incredible to be, building a product around my own food allergies. And whether you have food allergies or not, this ice cream is for you.
Carly at SunScoop, tell us what you've been doing all this time. We missed you. Can you fill us in on what's happened over this last period of time and what kind of progress you've made at SunScoop?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really great to be back. We're really excited. Since we last spoke, we were with a smaller co-packer. We were running about 5,000 pints a day. We've since then transitioned to a larger co-packer in Northern California where we're producing 30,000 pints in a day. So we have really set up the foundation for national growth. I've brought on a new and amazing sales team, and they have been behind the growth and acquisition of Talenti. Another big highlight I'm excited to share is the packaging. A much larger name, the name SunScoop is iconic, and we really wanted that to pop on the shelf. We've changed some of the new flavor names. So dark cacao with reishi became best chocolate ever. Moringa mint became mint chip. So just more personality. We have been working on our next innovations. At the end of this year, we're launching superfood ice cream bars. Oh, I do want to add, we're on track to do $2 million in revenue this year. So we are really growing.
So on track to do $2 million in revenue. How have you done over the first 3 months?
So since bringing on UNFI and KeHE, and then with the addition of Gelson's in a new Whole Food region, we've gone from about 400 stores to just over 800 stores. We're doing about 80 to 90,000 in revenue a month. We're projecting to end the year in about 2,000 retailers.
What percentage of your business is direct to consumer?
So I would say about 20% of our business is direct to consumer. It's expensive to ship ice cream online. Right now, we are super laser focused on grocery and really supporting that and growing that and making sure our velocity is just number one.
Are you getting repeat customers?
I'm a repeat customer.
There you go.
Excellent.
There you go. It has less than 15 grams of sugar per serving versus our competitors, which are more 30 to 50. We have about a 20% repeat customer online. People have been really waiting for an ice cream like this.
How big do you want this thing to become?
When someone says vegan ice cream, I want SunScoop to come to your mind. When someone says ice cream, you think Ben and Jerry's. That's what I'm trying to create here. It's really just the beginning with our plant-based pints. Like, you're gonna see really amazing dessert sauces, coconut whipped cream, cookie sandwiches, ice cream bars. And you're gonna trust that everything tastes good, and really just building an amazing wellness brand around ice cream.
How big is Ben and Jerry's?
I mean, Ben and they're huge. I mean, I think they sold for close to 300 million. They're still a massive brand, and we're still competing against them.
And why do you want to be sold? Why aren't you just going to continue to grow and build and buy other people?
Eventually I think it's all part of my plan to become, like he said, like the biggest plant-based ice cream on the market. If I can find the right partner to help me grow and operate this business and fund it, I'm definitely open to that. I really want to see this ice cream in every home.
Okay, terrific. Well, thank you, Carly, for being on our show, and congratulations for being a finalist.
Thank you.
We wish you the best, and really fun hearing how much great progress you've made.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll be back, but before we go, we'll see what's going on behind the scenes.
I'm Rob Salvador, co-founder and CEO of DigiBuild. We're an enterprise software for managing construction projects and the workflows around them, and our tools are enabled by blockchain.
Have you tested it out? Because a lot of these construction guys don't want to bring in software, and they don't want their subcontractors all tied into a system.
So you'd be surprised, construction's really moved towards digitization and software recently.
We decided that Robert was doing something so extraordinary, we decided to bring him right in to the semifinals.
So we've established a beachhead of 30 of the top companies in construction, and they recognize DigiBuild as the category leader in blockchain in construction.
We are so thrilled at our success on Meet the Drapers and in the crowdfund. We're so grateful to have thousands of investors who have gotten behind us. Couldn't be more grateful and couldn't be more ready to continue our mission to revolutionize the global construction industry using blockchain.
We'll be right back on Meet the Drapers. Welcome back to Meet the Drapers.
Welcome back to Meet the Drapers. Congratulations for making the finals. If you could, just give us a little bit of a view of what you've been able to do recently and what kind of progress you've been able to make over the last several months.
We are DigiBuild. I'm Rob Salvador, co-founder and CEO. Last time we were here, we only had 3 tools built out. Now we have an entire construction software suite that can handle all of the workflows needed on a construction project. Even though COVID-19 has introduced a lot of uncertainty into the market, we've continued to grow. We've doubled our MRR to $12,000 a month, and our customers, 3 of them are 3 of the largest in the entire industry. Since we last spoke, we've raised $1 million. We've ran a successful crowdfund on Meet the Drapers and Republic, so thank you to all of the crowd out there for that. We've also received a strategic investment from one of the largest construction companies in North America. They believe, like we believe, that blockchain is the future of the construction industry. And all of the industry-leading incumbent softwares that are out there have been trying to get to this company and make them a customer, and they chose DigiBuild and us because they think we're going to change the entire industry. So overall, we're a SaaS model, we're scalable, we have a lot of market traction, and that makes us the best position to be our unicorn and to change an entire industry. So we're so happy to be back and happy to take your questions, everyone.
Tell me why blockchain is the solution for the construction industry.
Because construction involves a lot of different distrusting parties who have to send and receive trusted data and workflows back and forth. Blockchain allows you an auditable database that is not monopolized by any of those companies. So blockchain is needed here as a technology. It's not just something we're adding because of the hype behind it.
And do you interact with the unions at all?
So not yet, but part of our product plan is perfect for them. Unions need audits very badly. They spend millions of dollars a year auditing construction companies because they need their benefits paid. Blockchain giving you this perfect auditability will be a huge win for unions.
How big is the market for all of this?
So we believe our total addressable market is $9 billion. And you can compare that to Procore, who's one of the cloud solutions. They just filed to go public, and they listed a $9 billion total addressable market as well. and they say that the overall customer base is only 2% penetrated.
How do you get them to pay more money?
The results are what speaks for themselves. Just one of our workflows where we automate the entire process, we're saving VCC, this other big company we're working with, $125,000 per year in just that process. So when you start incorporating blockchain into multiple workflows, the results are above and beyond anything the cloud companies are doing right now.
Well, terrific. Well,
Tim, I have one more thing for you. Just like last time, if you're done with the questions, I want to match you. It's becoming a tradition. So we have brought our own crystal ball in here. I think it's choosing DigiBuild. We hope yours does the same.
I'm not sure these two crystal balls are networked, but we're going to find out soon. This is awesome, and you've made great progress. Now we're going to move on to the next one. But before we go, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
I was actually working at a computer vision startup when unfortunately our garage was broken into. I felt very violated. I went to the police and asked, how is this possible? And he said, oh, with all these cameras, nobody has time or patience to watch them. I said, hey, I know how to solve this. So we are a business-to-business software as a services company using artificial intelligence to improve the safety and security of businesses.
Sentry's customers have experienced 10 times the accuracy improvements, 2 times the productivity gains, and 50% cost reduction.
Can this completely replace the security guard?
We want this to be a tool to help them focus.
Sentry AI, you are moving to the semifinals. Congratulations.
Oh, we are so excited to be part of the semifinals. The whole team is pumped up.
So we are a SaaS company. Our whole software is like infinitely scalable.
Sentry is really solving a problem that we really need to solve.
I'm extremely excited to be here at the Drapers finals. And also, our team is very pumped up, motivated, and we just want to make this a reality. Our mission is to improve the security and safety of our communities everywhere.
Uday Chaka, welcome back. The founder of Sentry AI. We'd love to hear more from you, particularly what kind of progress you've made over the last couple of months.
We are ready to break out of this COVID chrysalis like a butterfly. Since we met last time, we have significantly strengthened our product and launched Sentry 6.0. We enhanced our AI to provide camera level controls to improve accuracy and support advanced features. We released mobile apps for patrol guards to let them better communicate with their command centers. We established a brand new enterprise sales function by hiring sales reps in multiple geographies. We created a new customer success and solutions engineering team to provide 24/7 enterprise support and to onboard customers very smoothly. With a great product and a fantastic team, we are now ready to fly. Our sales pipeline has grown 10 times with more than 100 companies, including Draper University. We have raised a total of $2 million from angel investors, including $270,000 from crowdfunding. Investors like what they see. They're voting with their wallets because we are the world's best security AI.
Terrific. And so can you link our cameras to the cameras next door and the cameras next door to them if Draper University is next door to a Starbucks and Starbucks is also a customer, if that information spreads to both of security teams?
Absolutely. So this is where we are very, very, very conscious of privacy practices. Technology is there to answer the question, Tim. It's all about like the regulations and the comfort level of the businesses and the entities involved. So absolutely, where it is possible, where you strike a deal with the Starbucks next door and you agree with this kind of data sharing, we can enable it for you and for them.
How many customers do you have?
So we have a total of more than 1,400 users around the world in about 40 countries. And also last quarter, we actually started our business outreach. And there we have more than 10 business customers right now.
What are your revenues for like last month?
So our ARR is currently at 100,000, and because a lot of these corporates, as you know, Tim, they're all testing right now with very small number of cameras. So at this point, we are just beginning to realize these revenues from these business customers, and we see that explode over the next 2 quarters, where they will launch it across their whole install base.
What does your team look like? Who else is on your team?
So our team, the leadership is primarily masters and PhDs, coming primarily from a technology background. So we're very excited and proud of our team, which has been always staying ahead of the competition by a good margin.
I love everything in this space. It's so important.
Well, terrific, and thank you, Udig. Thanks for securing all of us at Draper University, and Sentry AI looks like it's a very promising company. You made good progress. What did everybody think? Polly, did you have any favorites?
My first favorites were the first two, Akua and Green. Those two were first two, and Boxable was my second. I thought the idea of predictive was potentially interesting. Honestly, I liked all the entrepreneurs. They were awesome.
So Adam, you got to see 3 of them. Which of those 3 did you like the best?
My favorite founder was the ice cream. I'm calling it on Sunscoop. Sunscoop's my favorite.
So I have to agree with Polly. I think Akua is definitely my favorite entrepreneur that we've seen. I love the idea behind Sentry AI, and I just want thousands of people working on this problem. So I'd say they were my second. DigiBuild, I think there's a big opportunity there. Boxable, those founders were just awesome. I've seen a lot of them, but they were awesome.
Dad, what grabbed you the most?
Akua. I think I'd go with that one. I really still have a very hard time picking any one.
I am completely torn as to where to go with this. I think we're just going to have to go to the crystal ball. So let's bring them back in and let's see what the crystal ball has in store for them. Great to have all of you. You guys were outstanding. This is absolutely the best season we've ever had. I can't believe the quality of the entrepreneurs that we've got here. We're torn. We have no idea who's going to be the winner. So what we've got to do is consult the crystal ball. Whoa, eeny, meeny, chili beanie. Oh, we have a tie for third place, and it's $250,000. The tie is between Sunscoop and Green. Good job. $250,000 go to both of you. And our second place from the crystal ball, it's Akua. $300,000 to Akua. We are down to the winner, who is going to walk away with $500,000. Who's it going to be? We have a winner. We have a winner. The winner is Boxable. And here's the other news. We loved all of you so much that each of you is gonna get $100,000. Another $100,000 for Predictive, DigiBuild, Sentry AI. All of our finalists are winners. Congratulations.
Gally, I think that went fairly well. What do you think?
Well, they must have loved us. We did win. Thank you so much for having us on the Draper Show. It was really an amazing experience.
Tim and the crew were quite wonderful, fantastic show. So next for us is to stand up the first factory, Factory 1, in 2 or 3 months. That unit should be able to produce about $250, $300 million worth of product. I don't think there's another person, possibly not even Elon Musk, that could put up a factory so quickly and start pumping out such a high volume of homes.
Good job, Paolo.
Thank you, Galliano.
And see us next time on Meet the Drapers!
Heroes on Meet the Drapers. future with our tech. AI, VR, Bitcoin is the best. We'll build and work and grow with you, having fun along the way. We'll change the world for